Hey basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how you can increase your shooting range in basketball. So if you're one of those players who can shoot really well inside the three-point shot or really anywhere close to the basket, but you start having issues when you start getting pushed out towards the three-point line and beyond, this video is for you. Or if you just want to be able to increase your range and be like Trae Young, jacking up half-court shots and making those things like if there's like no issues at all trying to figure out how to make those, then this video is also for you. So number one. But first, before I tell you number one, the last tip in this video is the most important that you will have. So going on to the tip number one, and that is being able to now, when you're going back farther, to be able to jump higher on your shot. That is one of the bigger tips that I can give you. There's so many players who will be close to the rim, they'll not jump or barely jump at all, and they'll do the same when they're going out towards the three-point line. Now, I do understand maybe in their mind they're thinking what I always say, which is don't change your shooting form when you're going out farther. However, when I talk about that is when you're changing your shooting form, I'm not talking about heights in which you jump, but how you're actually shooting the basketball. So if you shoot like this, which is how I shoot, then you don't want to go and change that shot form that much. You may want to reach up higher when you're shooting over top of taller players, but you don't want to be changing your base. You don't want to be changing what your body, your legs, your knees, your ankles, everything. You don't want to be changing that. You want to have the exact same shooting form. So if I'm shooting close, I'm shooting like this. If I'm shooting farther away, I'm shooting like this. It's the same form, the exact same form. Now, when you're moving back farther, you will need to jump higher. That is the biggest thing. You're going to need more power, which then goes into my second tip, which is the muscles needed to be able to shoot the basketball further. And let's analyze some of the muscles right now that you're going to need to use to shoot the ball farther. Number one, when you're getting ready for your shooting form, what is the number one thing you're going to be on? You're going to be on your toes. You're not shooting from your heels because you're not going to get any lift from your heels. You're going to be starting from your toes, which is your calf muscle. So, some exercises to build that muscle is very simple. Just heel raises. You can do heel raises almost every single day, and it's not going to wear out that muscle because it's used to working every single day for walking, for running, that kind of a thing. So you can quite literally do heel raises with your own body weight every single day. However, if you really want to build that muscle, you might want to use some weights, maybe 5-10 pound weights in your hands or more, and you can just stand there and you can do this one every other day. And that is just, again, heel raises, and you'll be totally fine if you do that every other day. Another one is toe hops. Toe hops are going to allow you to be able to jump higher as well. Now, toe hops is an actual exercise. If you were to do it for 30 to 60 seconds, you rest for 30 seconds and do it for another 30 to 60 seconds, and you continue that cycle, what you're going to find is you'll want to do that every other day. Now, what's the next muscle we're going to be using? The next muscle is going to be your upper leg, because you're going to be shooting and jumping to take that shot. So what are some of the exercises that you can do to build those muscles? Simple squats. That is the easiest thing you can do. Every other day, you can do 60 to 100 squats and just go down and back up. Keep those shoulders back, looking forward, and back up, back on your heels when you're doing that exercise. You want to have your knees not go past your toes, because that can cause injuries. If you go do a squat forward, that knee's going to be over pressured. You want to keep them behind the toe so that you reduce the risk of injury to your knees. And I know this because I've had knee injuries in the past, not from that exercise, but these are just things that I've learned over time. What's the next muscle we're going to be working on? That's the lower back. this muscle right there. Now you're probably saying, well, it's your back. That can't do anything towards shooting a basketball. It does, because when you want to take your shot, if you want more power on your shot, you're going to be leaning over, having your head over your toes. And that muscle is going to be used to explode you up. It's also a really great momentum muscle if you want to dunk a basketball. So, working that lower back muscle, and how are you going to do that? It's also very simple. You can do one of those, what I call like a plank machine, when you've got a thing holding you here, you go over and you lift your upper body back up. That's one. I'll put a picture of that if I remember right now. But another simple one is to keep your shoulders back, have a 5 or 10 pound weight at first if you're younger, and just very simply have your shoulders back, and then lean back, knees slightly bent. You never want to have those totally straight, shoulders back and back up. Just like that, and it's going to work your hips as well as your lower back. Now, what's the next part of your body that you actually use? And that's your core. You're going to want to stay stabilized when you're taking that shot. You're going to want to tense your core when you're taking your shot, especially the further out you go. The more you tense your stomach, the straighter your shot's going to be. And that's kind of a forgotten tip that a lot of trainers don't teach, because when you're taking your shot, if you want your shot to be straight, your core is tight. And when your core is tight, that's going to allow you to make that shot like Kyle Lowry when he gets hit in the air, or Steph Curry when he gets smacked in the air, he's falling and that shot still goes in, and everyone's like, how did he make that shot? It's because his core was super tight. He was able to control his body until he released that ball, and that's why he made those shots. Now next is going to be your tricep, because of course you're going to be releasing that ball. Whenever you push out on anything, that's your tricep, the muscle behind your arm. And what are some of the exercises that you can do? Well, if you have a pull down machine, that's one really great workout exercise that you can do. But if you don't have one of those workout machines, you can sit in a chair with a dumbbell, keep your shoulders back, and just reach up just like that with a 5 or 10 pound weight to start, and you can build yourself up. These are some of the exercises that you can do. Chest exercises, bench press is another one, push-ups. That is another exercise that you can use to have yourself a further shot, because bench press and push-up isn't just to work out your chest, it also works out your tricep as well. Now this is the biggest tip of the day that I can give you, and that is you need to warm up properly. So if you've ever been to an NBA game, we've all seen the NBA players. They're not jacking up shots from the three-point line at first, and if they are, that is usually because the court that they're on, or the arena that they're at, they have nets in another court in another part of that building where they're already warming up. But you'll see on the Raptors games, for example, Marc Gasol and a lot of the players, they'll come in and they'll take a lot of really close shots. It's called the 1-inch drill. And that's when your toes are 1 inch away from the basket if the basket came all the way down towards the ground. Now, what this is going to do for you is it's going to work out your ability to take a close shot, but keeping that form, working your way back. So you take a step back. So after you've made maybe 5 to 10 shots minimum from 1 inch, take a big step back, another 5 to 10 shots minimum made from this distance, and you keep on working yourself back. And I guarantee you, you will raise your shooting percentage astronomically if you do that before every single game and every single practice. So what are some of the things that we learned in today's video? Number one, what you want to do to be able to get your shot or shoot the basketball further is to use your legs more when you go out further. Do not change your shooting form. You don't want to go from this shooting form to this shooting form, because let's just face it, that's not the same form. And if you keep on going with the same form, you're going to be able to hit more shots no matter where you are on that court. And then we went into muscles used to shoot the basketball. Pretty much your whole body is used to shoot the basketball. Even wrist strength also is huge when you want to shoot a basketball further, because you want to be able to push that ball further. It's not just the muscles in your body, but your wrist as well. And then we went on to warm-ups. And to warm up properly, start close and move your way back. I hope that this video has helped you shoot the basketball better. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another twice a day basketball video.